My name is Nancy DeMonte, and my daughter is a survivor of the 2015 Cutchogue limousine crash. And we acknowledge the work of Governor Cuomo's office and that of Senator Tim Kennedy, along with the New York State Senate body that unanimously passed our entire package for limousine safety reform. It is now time for an insufficiently regulated industry to become accountable. This message is for the Assembly. We respectfully tell you that you have provided a roadblock on the last leg of our journey towards safety. We stand here by Labs Lane to publicly acknowledge the reluctance of the Assembly to pass this package as written. The acronym of this street name is to honor the 4 women who almost 4 years ago were killed in the limousine crash in Cutchogue. Lauren, Amy, Brittany, and Stephanie. 8 women went out that day and only 4 returned. There was one miracle granted that fateful day, when 4 seriously injured women came home. They live forever scarred. The next miracle must be given to those who stand behind me and to those families of the Schoharie crash this past October 2018. That miracle that we refer to is the passage of these laws by the Assembly that is so opposed. We ask that body of our elected officials to publicly explain how they put cost before human lives. Totally unjustifiable. New York State cannot afford another tragedy. If the Assembly takes the wrong turn, the rubber will meet the road when we return for a rematch in the next session. Complacency, agenda, and cost will not convince the voters to re-elect representatives who fail to protect the safety of their constituents. If you choose flight, we will choose fight. We vow to utilize every resource to ensure our victory. Think back to when Governor Cuomo worked with us to get the bill into the budget. Some believed that it would never happen, and our team efforts with his office and the Senate paid off as space in that budget was reserved for limo legislation. It gave us the space to revise the items. We intend to take full reign and get our revisions exactly as written. The Assembly will not be our roadblock. It is our way or the highway.
My name is Paul Shulman. My daughter, Brittany Shulman, unfortunately, was a tragic loss in the 2015 Cutchogue limousine crash. This path that we've all been on started when I started Lab's petition about 3 years ago. We never thought it would get to where it is. We never thought that we were told it wouldn't even make it to the governor's budget. But thanks to the governor, the hard work from all the families with me, the governor and his staff, Mr. Tim Kennedy and the Senate, everything was unanimously passed until it hit the Assembly. And what we don't understand is these people are elected officials that we, along with Schoharie and everybody else, elected into office. When does the almighty dollar take precedence over people's lives? If they allow this to continue, how many more lives are going to have to join the fight with us? We should not have to be fighting this hard for something so simple. Nobody should have to worry about getting into a vehicle and worry if they're coming home or not, and neither should their loved ones. If the Assembly chooses to sit back and not do this, it's horrendous for it to go to 2 parts of government unanimously passed and all of a sudden hit a brick wall. That is unjust, and it's totally inhumane to make us have to come back in January to start this process over again. Everybody, the whole process starts from the beginning in January if this doesn't go. The blood of all of these people, there's going to be more. It's inevitable. New York State's a big state. There's a lot of vehicles on the road. It's prom season, it's wedding season, there's winery tours all over. It's going to happen. Are they comfortable with the way the industry is right now? Because if that's the case, then if we can't count on our elected officials to protect us, who do we count on?
My name is Mindy Grabina. My daughter, Amy, she was killed in the Cutchogue limousine crash. I'm here today to strongly urge the New York State Assembly to pass the limo safety bills. We can't guarantee that this package of bills would have saved our daughters' lives or mitigated the other young women's injuries. However, we do know that each and every one of us that choose to ride in a stretch limo deserves to ride in a vehicle that doesn't represent a tin can that can easily be crushed. I implore the New York State Assembly to follow the lead of the governor and the New York State Senate and vote favorably for the package of limo safety bills. Yesterday, instead of celebrating Father's Day, we went to the cemetery to visit Amy. Let's all attempt to prevent visits to future limo victims' graves. Please hear us, your constituents. You, the New York State Assembly, has the obligation to pass these changes to help protect all of us.
I'm Susan Arundel. My daughter Alicia is a survivor from the limo crash in Cutchogue. But I want to say to our leaders that a true leader is somebody who does the right thing. They look out for the future. They make decisions for our future. So I'm saying to our elected officials, those there in the assembly, please do the right thing. Thank you.
My name is Felicia Baruch, and I'm the mother of Lauren Baruch, who was killed in the 2015 Cutchogue limousine accident. It's 4 years, and not 1 ounce of justice has been given to this accident, to these girls that have survived, and for those that have passed, and for the families. It is about time the Assembly stands up and makes the right decision. On June 6th, we were all in Albany, in the state Senate, at the Capitol building, the state chamber, to witness all 9 bills being passed. It was the most amazing thing I have ever witnessed. It brought a sense of pride, excitement, and sadness. For the first time, there was a glimmer of hope and some sense of justice. And then to find out 5 minutes later, the Assembly wanted no part of it, was the most disheartening and depressing turnaround. I urge the Assembly to think twice about these bills, the importance of these bills. Your constituents, they vote you in. Why do we vote you in? Because we believe in what you tell us you're going to do for this state, for our safety, for our well-being. But is it all lies? We don't know. It appears to be. So, you know what? Like was said before, you don't want the blood of other victims on you, then you really need to do the right thing.
We have, since June 6th, and I think it should have been before June 6th, but it couldn't. It had to do the process. We have been frantically trying to reach the Assembly with no success. We have received conflicting reports of which bills are in fact sponsored, which are not, which have been amended, which ones are going as written. As of late, and I'm only saying this out of what I've heard, so I'm not going to verify this as cement, but that there are more bills not on the floor than on the floor. And the ones we specifically want, based on how these accidents occurred, are not on the floor as of this time.
We were told that there was a word that they put out why the 3 major bills that we're looking for won't go, and the word was costly. So I am asking the Assembly, because we're uneducated, to educate us. What does their definition of costly mean?
They have chosen, to our belief, they have chosen to hear the lobbyists. When we hear the word costly, we have all tried to reach the Rules Committee. We do our homework. We're very savvy in this process. They are ignoring us. When you tell us that it's costly, who's it costly to? And do you have a specific agenda? Because right now, we are showing little faith in those people who we put into office. We have to go till next year. Everything dies, it starts all over again for another year. Now, when we first met with Governor Cuomo, we were told that bill is not going through. It went through with lots of omissions. However, because it went through, we were allowed to make the changes. Everything except what he signed in, which is the no U-turns and some insurance and inspection clauses, everything else didn't go. And so we were told, go back and fight. The Assembly must have reasons why, and we are asking for public acknowledgement why this cannot go. Yep. Everything's got to be done over. It's called a do-over when you talk about kids playing hopscotch. It's do-over. And we won't get pushback from the governor and the senators, but the Assembly, I don't know that they're going to want to hear us all over again, but they will. If it takes 100 years, we will keep calling. We will blow up their phones. That's what we're doing, and we're not getting any responses from them. None. They need to ask themselves, it's a very simple question. If this was your son or daughter, put yourself in the place of these people behind me who are going through a living hell. Put yourself in the place of somebody like myself or one of these girls who survived, who live with PTSD, unlike anything they could ever think they understand, with medical issues, emotional issues, and watching the death of their friends in a matter of seconds. If you can justify that to us, you earn the prize, because you cannot. There's no way. And this message respectfully goes to everyone in the Assembly. I do not believe that most of the constituents believe in what you're doing. They believe in us. They are sympathetic. Everybody knows about these 2 accidents. We will continue to write, and we will have to shame you if you do not do this. And I don't think that's what you want in the end result. You will look better. You will shine if you do this. You need to get rid of the bad actors, and the good actors, they will prosper from it, because once you remove the stuff that's out there that's no good, you open up a world of business for them. The insurance companies will not insure people with chargeable accidents and violations. We cannot drive a car and run through stop signs. We will get points on our licenses, and the insurance companies will take away our policies. If that's what they want, then good luck. We also will make it public how unsafe these cars are right now as it stands. And they will not want that to happen. That's ugly publicity.
What I would like an explanation from the Assembly is how you pass a bill 2 days before we're up there, that in the state of New York, it is illegal to clip a cat's nails, to declaw them. So if a cat is more important to them than a human life, you do not deserve to be in that office.
Session ends Wednesday at 11:59. No session comes back until next year. So in other words, whether they're working or not, okay, because we will be working from June 20th on. You can bet we're going to be working, because I think I mean, I don't know. Maybe the assembly doesn't want to hear us anymore. Maybe they're tired of this. It's about cost. It has to be about an agenda, and we just cannot accept that over the human lives. Look at all the people behind me who have lost not just their children. Their lives have been lost because of this. They don't live what they lived before it happened. And 4 years or 40 years isn't going to make it better for them. It's hard. Yesterday was Father's Day. What do you think these people go through? Let alone the 20 people upstate, their grandchildren, because there were parents in that car who had babies. Now they have no more parents. Where's your sympathy? Where's your compassion? You're an elected official. We're just not, we've had too much lip service. We can't have that anymore. We need to work together. We want to work with the assembly. We want to make this happen. And it's good for the industry, the assembly, the governor, the Senate, and yes, especially us.
I'm Steve Baruch. You've heard my wife, Felicia, speak on behalf of my daughter, Lauren Baruch, who unfortunately was killed in the Cutchogue limousine accident as well. You know, as I listen to all of this, as we continue to plead and ask to do the right thing, those of you in the assembly that believe in this, and I know there's a lot of you that do, for whatever reason, either you're holding back or you're not lobbying your fellow assemblymen to come forward, which is really hard to understand. To have a unanimous vote in the Senate and have every one of the senators vote on this unanimously in all nine for all 9 bills, and not to be able to get one bill passed, there's something that's obviously wrong. Whether it be lobbyist groups that are reaching out to you, that are holding you back from making the right decision for financial reasons, because I can't honestly think there's any other reason why. As parents of children and knowing what we've gone through, think about your own children in getting into vehicles that are not safe, or the drivers that are driving these cars that are not properly trained or have licenses or whatever it may be. It just is, it's very, very disheartening for us to have to come out here and continue to plead for this. But as you've heard, we're going to continue to fight until we get this pushed through, and you'll continue to hear from us until the day comes that it's pushed through and done.
You got 2 days. Wake up
Let's get it
Smell the
done.
coffee.
and get it done.
Get this done.
Get it
have
done.
it.
Get it done.
You
Get
have
it
the
done.
power.
Get it done.
Vote.
Get
Yes.
it
Do
done.
this.
Yes.
Get
Yes.
it done.
For New York.